Dear friends, today I would like to read a small part of Benoit Mandelbrot's book called The Misbehavior of Markets. The simplest fractals scale the same way in all directions, hence are called self-similar. They are like high-quality zoom lenses that expand or shrink everything in the frame by the same degree. What they see at one focal length will be similar to what they see at another. But the Bachelier cartoon scales more in one direction than another, and the same will be the case with other cartoons of price variation to be introduced in later chapters. Such fractals are called self-affine. They are like an office laser photocopier set to shrink a document's image more crosswise than lengthwise. If the fractals scale in many different ways at different points, they are multifractal, and their mathematical properties become intricate and powerful. Indeed, the mathematics of fractals in full glory is difficult in its detail, but in its broad strokes, thousands of 16 and 17-year-olds are now learning it as part of the basic math courses. Fractals are supremely visual, hence supremely intuitive. Fractals can look haphazard. They often defy conventional geometry or analysis to categorize. They are usually irregular and perplexing, rather than nice and predictable like the parabolas and circles of the old geometers. But the key point, all fractals start simplistically, some might say. In its first stages, any scientific investigation had better be simplistic, otherwise it will never fly. Every fractal is a logical expression of a few straightforward ideas, rules, or mathematical relations. In the simple fractals described here, the initiator, generator, and rule make up the three-letter code for construction, much like the four chemical letters of the genetic alphabet. And as with DNA, so with the fractal code. From this concentrated information come creatures of great beauty and complexity. Indeed, of such complexity that sometimes the world's best mathematical minds cannot resolve it. The distant roots of this field are diverse. It draws upon some oddities first noticed between 1875 and 1925, a fruitful period of turmoil and anarchy in mathematics. They were presented as paradoxes, a line that could completely fill a square so that it seemed one dimension could fill two, an absurdly simple process for converting a solid line into a dust of dimensionless points, an irregular yet continuous curve to which you could not draw a tangent line anywhere. They were fantasies, deliberately contrived to point out some logical inconsistencies in mainstream mathematics. As such, they were initially both advertised and dismissed as monstrous curious, practical jokes on the mathematical graybirds. I increased the variety of these disparate notions manifold. I knitted them into one field, developed it, named it, and began applying it to the real world around us, both natural and man-made. It has changed the way many scientists think of the world, even if some poets imagined it first. From Jonathan Swift on Poetry, a Rhapsody. So naturalists observe a flea, hath smaller fleas that on him prey, and these have smaller fleas to bite them, and so proceed ad infinitum.